welcome back. I'm Eileen Shanahan. We are talking horses today with Elaine Cardillo. Elaine, we've been talking about youngsters, and we just saw some video with you with a beautiful gypsy vanner named Lavinia. You've met her for the first time for a few minutes. What have you determined about her?
Well, back then on that first meeting, I realized very quickly that she was very people-oriented, loved to be in your space, which is normal for a young horse. But it also made me realize that I had to establish my parameters.
Because we love having our horses close to us, but they're not lap horses.
No,
we
they're
don't
not.
want them in our lap. You got to keep their distance there.
Especially when we know that they're going to get bigger.
Right, exactly. So what do you have to do?
Well, I have to basically come in and act like Mary Poppins. That's M-A-R-E-Y, by the way.
Why Mary Poppins?
Because Mary Poppins is firm but kind.
Oh, gotcha.
And that's what I want to be.
Good.
You know, I really just want to go in there and just say, you know, this is my space, this is your space, but be kind about it because I know she's a youngster and I know she's learning.
Okay, well, let's go see how you made out.
Very good.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to kind of play with her a little bit to get a feel for her. If I could have that orange stick that's right here. Thank you. All right, that's great. You want to say hello to Mom, huh? Come on, sweetie. Now, normally when I meet a horse for the first time, I would introduce myself in a round pen setting and communicate that way. And we've already done an episode on the round pen and how that whole process works. The reason I don't do that with youngsters like this is because they have not yet learned the communication. Some of what they communicate is instinctual, but other parts of it aren't. And when you have a youngster like this that is turned out by itself and not with other horses, it takes them a while before they learn how to communicate. So I was explaining before that in a herd situation, from birth until weaning, the babies have the run of the place. They basically can make up all their own rules. They can do whatever they want to. No one's going to correct them. They can jump on top of the stallion if they want to, and the stallion's not going to bother with them. But once they're weaned, everything changes, and that happens practically overnight, where all of a sudden the other herd members now are going to start telling the baby where it can be, when it can be, how it can be, where its space is, where its boundaries are, when it can eat, when it can drink. And what's so important about that is that baby then learns to give over its dominance. Now, when you have a baby in a situation where it's taken away from the herd setting at weaning, which most bred horses are, they don't have that opportunity to get that education from other horses. So now the human has to take over, which is fine, and it's not impossible, but what happens is the human has to be just as persistent and consistent as another horse would be. And that is very difficult for humans because horses never say to each other, well, you know, I've disciplined this baby 20 times in the last hour over the same thing, and I'm tired of it, and I'm just not going to do it anymore. Horses never do that, where a human would. Humans get to the point where they just get so frustrated and fed up, they give up. Horses never give up when it comes to disciplining each other. So that's what's very important about teaching youngsters, is that we have to be as persistent and consistent as another horse. So I'm going to just start playing around with her. I've already kind of rubbed her all over, trying to find spots where she might be a little hesitant to have me touch, and honestly, I'm not finding any spots at all. She seems very relaxed with that. From what I understand, she was imprinted at birth, which is a good thing, and probably one of the reasons why she's not resistant anywhere, so that's good. And this rope halter, like I said, has a little more pressure to it, so if she's doing something that I don't want her to do, I can just correct her. Now what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start walking around with her, and I'm just going to start leading her, and this is what her mother would do. And she would be in the same position with her mother. Now, I don't like to have her directly behind me because I like to be able to keep an eye on her. Her mother has the advantages of having eyes on the side of her head where she could see what's going on almost behind her. I don't have that advantage, so I'm going to keep her to my right a little bit. And if she's going to walk in front of me like that, I'm going to ask her to back up. And the way I'm going to do that is just put pressure on the halter and ask her to back up. So I'm not going to rub her, because that was nice. And walk again. Now what'll happen is, as we're doing this, she'll start to realize that if she walks past me, she has to back up. And there's many ways of doing this. I could shake the lead line, which is something I just tried now. Just the habit of putting my hand up so that she sees it, kind of like a don't go any further, is a clear sign to her that I don't want her to go any further. And we get the clunk every once in a while, which is fine. She's learning, so that's okay. That was nice. That was really nice. And really, all she wants to do is put her head down and eat grass. That was very sweet. Thank you.